Alright everyone, how are you guys doing today? Long time no vlog, I know. But I just want to talk about Game, which is a big UK retailer, or was a big UK retailer, and it's just gone bust. Amongst the many retailers big retailers in the UK have gone bust, gone into administration because they've got financial problems, and the Game just yesterday went into administration, which is terrible news for the 2,000 people who are going to be losing their jobs. And it's just a shame that, Game was such a big, UK retail outlet, you could say. Not only did they own Game, but they took over GameStation, and one of my favourite gaming websites back in the day was Gameplay. So Gameplay was taken over by GameStation, and Game took over GameStation. So Game owned a number of different gaming companies, and they coexisted in the market, which that probably one of the reasons why it went bust. But I think the main problem that they had was the pricing. Their pricing was just absolutely ridiculous compared to what you find on Amazon, Shop2, which is another fantastic website. You're in a recession period and you're selling games way, above the average supermarket prices. I know supermarkets sell at a loss, so they can just get customers in. So you go buy Call of Duty on launch day and buy milk and bread, so they make up money that way. But it's just ridiculous to see I'm not saying they should not make a profit on the game, because they sell games, so they have to make money somewhere. But come on, they could have just lowered the prices, and even the pre-owned games. But forget about that. The redesign they done on the website, the Game website itself had a redesign undertaken, and it was the worst possible design you could think of. A 2-year-old could put that design together. The previous one was miles better, like 100 times better. I don't know what they thought of it, but online shopping has become famous. Each year records are broken in terms of e-retailing. People are buying online. And a video game as such is that you don't need to touch, you don't need to feel it, you don't need to see it, and it just makes the whole kind of online purchasing much more of a breeze over going into the shop. Here's another thing, the last thing that, why I feel Game went into administration: they had too many stores. So I've noticed in a number of places, they had stores in like Trafford Centre, which is a big UK shopping centre. They had 2 stores in that, one on the top level, one on the bottom level. They could have just had the one friggin' store. If they wanted to make it bigger, whip to do, make it bigger. But I don't see the reason why they had to make 2 or more stores. Even in Glasgow city centre, you've got stores. You've got a GameStation store. 5 minutes down the road, you've got a Game store, and then another 10 minutes down the road, you've got another Game store. There's no need for so many stores, and that's why it's come back and essentially got them, because now they're having to close. I think it's 200 and odd stores, 2,000 job losses in all. And it's a shame for the employees, it's a shame for the economy as well, and it's just a huge loss. Big gaming retailer. And the Game Fest, they had the first kind of gaming exhibition last year, which was really good, I thought. So it's going to be a bit hard for them to come back in. Why would someone still buy Game? The Game, the website in itself, game.co.uk, holds enormous value. They've got like a previous history. They've been in business for so many years, just the experience, the background, what they do. And I guess the loyalty program which they ran, I had a Game rewards card. They've got millions of customers on that, so they've got huge databases of customers. And if the right people come in, right marketing team comes in, they could turn the business around. That is, if someone wants to buy Game. There are a few banks speaking to it, so fingers crossed something should become of it in the next few days. But it is a shame as to what the situation is at the moment. And there's people who had the Game cards. I was one of them. I knew Game was in trouble, so I used all my points on my card. I was sensible, and I accumulated a lot of points. So I had like £20 on my Game card over like 5 years. I rarely spent it. In fact, I didn't even know I had money on it. It was only when I heard in the news the Game was possibly going into administration 2 weeks ago. And I thought, hey, I'll check how many points I've got. Lo and behold, I had 20, and I just bought anything I can get a hold of. Now, the whole administration thing was in the media for a number of weeks, number of days, so people really should have went out and used the points then. When they went into administration, people just went out and tried to use their cards, and they can't. Once a company goes into administration, there is no legal obligation for the retailer to accept loyalty points or reward points or refunds. And people had like 60, 70 quid on their gaming cards, and they couldn't use them, and they were fighting with store managers. There were a few fights that broke down south, which I thought was crazy. People are losing their jobs, and you're worried about 10, 20, 30 quid, which is partly the customer's fault. You know, if I had so much, firstly, I would never build up such an enormous amount on a loyalty card. I would have used it over a number of weeks, and especially keeping a tab on the media and the news, what's going on with the world, in essence. You would have found that game's in trouble. Use your loyalty scheme, son. Why wait till the last minute? And thelastminute.com got them. Shame, sad times, but were you working in game? What's kind of going on? I know there's a few sit-in protests in some of the Irish stores, and we'll probably see them in the UK as well, down south in England. But there's quite a lot of stores in Scotland that are affected, that I've been to in the past. I know where they are, and they're getting shut down. So yeah, hopefully they'll get the right team in and turn this around. That's my thoughts on it. That's why I think it went down. I've seen a few people say it was to do because they didn't have enough PC games. Come on. I know the PC side is, kind of bringing back to life with Battlefield 3, bringing a PC version. It's much better than the Xbox and PS3 version. But I don't think games solely went bust, or there was such a huge influence because they didn't have enough, shelf life or stock area for PC games. It wasn't that. It was mainly to do with their own errors. Too many stores, ridiculous prices on games when you could just go around to Tesco and Asda and pick it up, especially in this period where people are trying to save money, recession and so on. There is a certain small minority where they're looking for exclusives and limited edition sets, which supermarkets don't do. But even then, the likes of Amazon and all these online retailers, it's just way more convenient to purchase online. And with game kind of making I don't even want to use the word, messed up their website big time, didn't want to go anywhere near it. It was just horrible, the layout, the design, shambles, absolute shambles. But that's it for this video, guys. I thought I would share my experience. It wasn't really an experience, it was more of my thought. What do you guys think? Why do you think game went bust? Do you agree with what I'm saying? I shall see you in the next video. Look at that. And with that, I shall close.